All right. Hello, hello.
Hello,
Greetings,
friends.
foolish
Yay.
mortals.
Everyone's here. We're all here together again.
Yeah!
Yay.
Woo!
So,
Did it.
we're going to be playing Ace Attorney. But before that, we're going to be defusing a bomb. But actually, before that, we have the big question of the day, and I just realized we did not introduce ourselves, so I'm out of order again. But
It's fine. Nobody needs to know that we are, like, floating heads. It's
exactly,
okay.
you know, like, look, does anyone actually care what our names are? Anyways, the question of the day, are Lunchables actually edible? And I guess we should get my definition of edible out of the way. Technically, anything is edible if you try hard enough.
Yeah. So, I was,
But should
like...
you try hard enough?
Long story short, I was watching ProZD taste a bunch of different flavored okay, say he got something like Lay's or something, and he tried to eat all the flavors of Lay's in one sitting and review them like those food critics.
Mm-hmm.
So he was doing that, but he was doing it with Lunchables, and I'm like, are Lunchables actually edible?
See, Rhett and Link do this on Good Mythical Morning. They do this a lot where they'll try like every flavor of whatever kind of chip kind of thing. So I'm just picturing having to eat so many different Lunchables right now.
Right.
I
I
would
recall being able to digest Lunchables, but I haven't actually tested it in years.
I would like to say I did not realize you could make a living off of just eating chips, and quite honestly, where do I sign up? Just
Right?
gonna put that out
Exactly,
there.
like, I want to be a taste tester and get paid for it. To say, this is shit, or, this is actually tolerable.
I mean,
I
I'm
think
gonna
America
start.
will tolerate.
I think we need to start a new YouTube channel that is just, is this better than Doritos? And then everything we buy, or everything that we taste test, we compare, is it actually better than Doritos?
Yes.
But what flavor of Doritos do we start with?
I'm between nacho cheese and Cool Ranch. Personally, I'm a Cool Ranch person. That is my favorite. But
I'm a nacho cheese bitch.
Nacho cheese is very good. Like,
it's great.
It is the ultimate gamer snack, and I do remember eating it with chopsticks and gaming at the same time in college. So
you ate the Doritos with chopsticks.
Yeah, because if you pick them up with your hands, then you get cheese dust all over your controller.
It makes complete sense to me.
That's so valid. I feel like a loser for not doing that in years. It just reminds me of like this really cursed photo I took once of me eating an Uncrustable and I was like, this looks like a sin against God.
I mean, look, like, pro Asian tip, if there's ever anything that you want to eat that you don't want to get on your hands, like chopsticks will fix it like 99 times out of 100. The only one I have not figured out how to eat is ribs with chopsticks.
Ribs.
Like, like not like little short ribs, because those of us who are Asian, those of you people who are Asian, like the tiny short ribs, like we've got that one figured out. But like the really long ones that you kind of have to hold in your hand in order to eat.
Yeah, I don't know how you could eat that with. I mean, there's been times that I've like gone at it with like a fork to try to like get it off of the bone, but then I'm still eating with my hands.
My coworker, he's the shit out of me. So for those of you who have missed a previous stream, or actually I don't even remember if I actually mentioned it, but I was in Kansas City a few weeks ago, and one of the things that Kansas City is apparently known for is barbecue. So when we went out to dinner with the client, we had a bunch of barbecue. And I should point out, I am very much unfamiliar with like barbecue in general. Like my barbecue knowledge is like pulled pork and burgers. So like it's pretty small. And so they come out with like all these different things like burnt ends and ribs and like all this different stuff. And I'm over here sitting here going, I have no idea how I'm supposed to do any of this.
Mhm.
So I'm over here like trying to take apart a rib with my fork and knife, because why in the world would you pick that up with your hand and just take bites out of it? And my
Mhm.
coworker gave me so much shit for it. Between doing that and like I insisted that we had something green at our table, like a vegetable, because the only other thing that they had as a vegetable was corn. It was called corn cheese, and to explain what that is, because I had no idea what it was. I was thinking something like the Korean corn cheese, where like it's like kind of fried a little bit. No, it looks like macaroni and cheese that instead of noodles they put corn in.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess that's
no.
what my guess was. I just imagined just corn and cheese.
Yeah, like that's literally what it was. And so I'm over here
we
like
don't have very creative dishes when they're
No.
just American.
I was
Yeah.
over here like I need something green on the table. Like I eat a ton of vegetables. I
Mhm.
need something that is not smothered in cheese sauce. And they gave me so much shit for eating the broccoli on the table.
Dude, broccoli's so good though.
Dude.
Exactly. And it was like, we're not talking like really healthy broccoli. Like it was broccoli that they'd cooked in like
Buttered.
a ton of garlic butter.
Oh.
It was
Mm.
very
Oh.
good, but also so probably not great for you.
Yeah.
Your arteries were clogged up.
Oh my god. Like I was mildly sick afterwards as someone who doesn't eat a lot of meat or,
Mhm.
like really heavy food most of the time. I was feeling a little queasy that night. The like 8 drinks I had also probably did not help. But
That probably didn't help at all.
Is
I
there
will-
anything on this menu that's not swimming in gravy?
exactly, except for that was me going, is there anything on this menu that's not meat or smothered in cheese? And the answer was broccoli. That's just
She
smothered
had
in butter.
an Yzma moment.
It was a solid Yzma moment. I caught you.
Anyways, back to the original question. Lunchables.
Yeah.
Are they
They're-
edible?
Oh
Yeah.
god. I mean, you can eat them, but should you?
I
I
will
don't-
say that they are not a meal, but they are edible.
They are.
Because your
edible.
bitch has always been hungry, and I have never been satisfied by a regular Lunchable. Like even like when I was in elementary school, it was like, nah, this is not enough food. I'm still starving.
I should point out, like I was telling Mana before stream, I've had a whole one bite of a Lunchable before, because people will sit there and rave over the pizza one.
Pizza one's
Mhm.
good.
Like, and I so like someone insisted that like here, like they had made me this whole little like hand pizza little thing, which what the hell is that bread? Because that's
It's a
not
cracker.
bread. It's like a weirdly soggy cracker. Is
You know
the
what
problem.
Lunchables are?
What are
They're
they?
charcuterie boards for children.
Yeah, but it's not even good ones.
But for children, that's then it
Yeah.
hence and also mass produced. So of course it's not going to be good charcuterie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I have been good with having one bite of one ever in my life. So
I have not had one since probably middle school. Because again, hungry does not satisfy.
Yeah, they were hella cheap and they tasted hella cheap. I did also have the pizza one in my youth once, but of course, living with a Hispanic mom, they're like, "What is this trash? We don't eat trash here. Like, you are going to get the food from the house, and you will not have the Lunchables." And I'm like, you know what? In retrospect, you probably saved my health. So, like, I was looking at my friends eating them at lunch, and I'm like, "Is that edible?" Like, it looked like plastic.
Listen, when you grow up white, you eat what you are being fed, and you become a garbage disposal.
I will say, like, as someone, so after moving to the States, like, I brought my lunch every day, mostly because it was cheaper, because you can throw together stuff for a lot cheaper than, you know, school lunch, like $3.25 or whatever it was. And like, I remember people telling me that I was going to be jealous of what they had in the cafeteria because, you know, they had like pizza and burgers and stuff like that. And I do not ever remember being jealous.
That's fair.
That is valid.
Like,
yeah.
no.
It's nothing to phone home about. I think, okay, there was only one piece of cafeteria food in all of my years that I still remember to this day. It was in elementary school. I don't know what they're called, and I could never track them down ever again. But there's this one donut, specific donut that they would give to us with yogurt in the mornings, like for breakfast.
Finn stopped rolling on.
It was, I can't even describe how good this donut was. And I've never been able to find this donut or brand because I was like, I want to buy this at the store, but like I could never find it. I don't even know what the name was, but they would heat it up every day, like, and give it to us with like strawberry yogurt, and I don't know why, but that was like the peak of cafeteria food, and nothing ever since has compared to that one donut. It was brown. It wasn't glazed or anything. It had no toppings on it, but it was just like really soft because they warmed it up every morning. So I was like, anytime that it wasn't in the cafeteria, I would be sad.
Oh.
It was a sad day if the donut was not being served.
I think I forever have been only when I've been living at like Girl Scout camp have I ever been a 3 meals a day bitch. But like I only remember ever getting school breakfast like a handful of times in elementary school. After that, no breakfast. My sleep too important.
Yeah, fair.
That's such a mood.
But I remember donut day in elementary school would be the days that we would try the hardest to go. But man, I would say probably my favorite school lunch was cafeteria pizza, and it's not good pizza. But boy howdy, my other favorite was when we'd have spaghetti, and we would always get little dinner rolls, and I got yelled at. So I got yelled at one time because I was making spaghetti sandwiches.
Oh.
I got like 2 rolls and I split it in half and I stuffed it with spaghetti. And the lunch lady, we had like specific lunch ladies that were like serving food, and then like I don't know if this was like, you know, they all were lunch ladies. So, but I don't know if they just always, like, some of them always did dishes and some of them always served food. I don't know if that was in their job description or if the ladies that were doing dishes just drew the short straw. But there was one lady in particular who we would check in with, and she would give us the riot act if we didn't have enough money, or hey, you need to tell your parents that you've got like 3 meals left. And she screeched at me from across the cafeteria because she thought I was eating with my fingers.
Oh my god.
And it's like, first of all, I'm like in 3rd grade. Like, of course I'm eating with my hands. Like,
yeah.
3rd graders are goblins.
That's so true.
But anyway, I thought I was an innovator, and because I was making spaghetti sandwiches.
I mean, we have yakisoba pan, which is like the sandwich with yakisoba in it. And let me just say, that is divine.
It's a legit thing. You just basically made the American version.
Yeah.
And you're
I just was getting yelled at for doing something that was distinctly not American. I just thought I was innovating when really I was just living someone else's cultural experience.
Exactly. Like
spaghetti.
Without knowing.
I remember, like, they'd never really have yakisoba pan for, like, lunch and stuff because it is absolutely not nutritionally balanced whatsoever. But
You mean spaghetti, which is mostly carbs,
yeah,
in bread, which is also carbs?
it's carbs on
not-
carbs,
It's
and then like
alcoholic.
yakisoba sauce is a little bit like it's a little bit salty, but it's like it's pretty sweet as well.
Mhm.
And so like you just have like this sweet and salty noodle, and then they'll like fry the outside of the bread so that it's crunchy. It is absolutely divine, but also once again absolutely not healthy for you. But I always loved school festivals because someone would make it.
Yeah.
And it was like,
you would
yes,
run to it.
thank you. Yes, you can go to the kare rice booth or you can go to yakisoba pan booth, and let me just say,
You always
yakisoba
went-
pan.
You always went to yakisoba.
Like, let me just say, like, kare rice, wonderful. It is my favorite school lunch that I, ever had back in Japan. But yakisoba pan, so good. I still dream about that some days.
You will return to yakisoba pan.
I will return. Like, I will have my first yakisoba pan in years and possibly cry.
You'll have that ratatouille move.
Actually, whatever happens, like, where I will cry actually is the first morning I get back, going into 7-Eleven and having coffee and a mochi donut. Because 7-Eleven coffee, I am convinced, is the best in the world. I do not know what it is, and it's only 7-Eleven Japan coffee. Just
I was about to say,
for anyone.
you and I have had this discussion extensively, where I, as an American, cannot fathom not getting the absolute worst fucking diarrhea of your life every time you go to 7-Eleven. Like, I understand that it is better.
Mhm.
Like, we had a 7-Eleven within like walking distance of my dorm.
Uh-huh.
And it was maybe only the first term. Like, all of my friends were like, let's go to 7-Eleven. It was after the first term I stopped buying anything that was made in the store. Like, I got such a bad stomach ache from the pizza. And like, again, garbage disposal. But it was toxic. So I look forward to actually having like a decent experience at a 7-Eleven.
It's very good. Like, do not get me wrong, 7-Eleven food or konbini food in general is not like super nutritious, but also there are at least vegetables in it most of the time. So, like, not necessarily like the onigiri and stuff that you can walk away with, but when you do get like a set meal, like, got salad and stuff. So,
It's healthier.
like, let me just say, coming here and realizing that like you only want to eat at 7-Eleven if you want horrific diarrhea. Like, that was a major cultural shift for me.
Truly, the college experience is realizing that 7-Eleven is the only reason you stop at 7-Eleven is because you're on your way to a party and you need beverages to cut your alcohol with.
Yep, that sounds about right.
That's it.
Yep. Been there.
I would I was totally over 21, officer. But I would stop by and we would get because we would go to the parties and the people that were hosting the parties had the alcohol. But we would stop and get I would always get I was really into Sobeys at the time. I would get like Sobeys and like a bag of chips. And that would be me set.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, disclaimer, not drinking underage.
Also, yes, 100% on Team Curry Rice.
Curry rice is so good. You can't ever go wrong with good curry rice.
Also, oh my god, why would you not separate the miso soup and the rice?
Oh no.
Lunchbox. Honey, are you okay? Oh no.
Oh no.
Well,
Damn.
That's so sad.
It's kind of a risotto. Is that what risotto's like? It's kind of like
Risotto?
I don't think quite that. Like, that's a... I think that's just soggy rice.
Yeah, at that point, you're just drinking soggy rice. But, okay, I will say this. I don't know if anyone here has tried it, or if this is just a us thing, but, like, sometimes we do put rice in our soup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, like,
not just
okayu and
something like
konki and, you know, like, Asia's got the rice soup thing down.
Okay. Yeah.
a lot of broccoli cheddar soups that I've had in my day have rice in it.
There you go. Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
I'm not weird. Okay.
My favorite thing to do with rice in soup is, like, you have hot pot, you know, so you're dipping all of your ingredients in, and then at the end, it's a common thing in Japan that, you know, all of the rice that has gone uneaten in your bowl because you've been too busy eating all the meat and vegetables goes into the soup broth, and you cook it down for about 20 minutes, and you add an egg, and so you get that, like, really rich broth that you've dipped all these different ingredients in, and the rice, you know, takes on the flavors, and it's so good. It's called zosui. You can make it without doing hot pot, but hot pot's better.
But you want that experience.
Exactly. But also, every time I go to hot pot, I overeat, and then you get to zosui time, and it's like, oh my god, I can't eat another bite. Like,
that's what leftovers are for.
No, you can't do it leftovers. Like,
oh, okay.
Most hot pot places, I don't think, do leftovers at all. So
this is a safe space. Can we clarify for me what hot pot is? I think I know, but can you clarify for me, please?
Yep. So, basically, it's the idea is that you take a broth, and most hot pots, you'll take, like, thinly sliced meat and vegetables, and dip it in there for a few seconds, and then take it out and eat it.
Okay.
There are some, at least in Japan, I don't know about the other Asian countries, but we do have, like, a handful of hot pots that you just cook all the ingredients together. Once again, everything's like thinly sliced and such, so that it cooks quickly. But
yes,
basically, it's broth. You add stuff. It's
got it. Got it.
Exactly, communal stew.
Oh, there you go.
But yes, this
anyway.
is a safe spot. Anyway, shall we do a bomb really quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
All
That's
right.
a great segue.
All right, we are, oh, that's right, back on Pick Up the Pace. Reading this only uses up time you don't have. Chop, chop, 3 minutes, 3 modules, 3 strikes. Let's start.
Okay, what do we got?
I don't know. The screen's for my eyes only. I'm not allowed to look at the pockets through the manual. All right. We have 3 minutes on the clock, and... All right, I have numbers in a screen, I have words in a screen, and I have a button.
Okay, button is the first page, so what color is it?
It is red and says press.
Red and says press. White, oh wait, no, but it doesn't say, that one's for hold. If none apply, hold the button and refer to releasing a held button.
It is blue.
It's blue?
Yes.
Okay, if blue, release when the countdown has a timer with 4 in any position.
All right, we are good. Numbers or words?
Numbers.
Okay, I have a 1 on the screen and 4 numbers.
Press the button in the second position.
Okay, that's a 1.
Okay.
Okay, number on the screen is 1.
Press the button labeled 4.
Okay. That was the third button. All right, number on the screen once again says 1.
Press the button with the same level you pressed in stage 2. 4. So press 4.
Okay. But number on the screen is 4.
Press the button in the same position as you pressed in stage 2.
Okay.
Wherever 4 was.
Yep. I got that.
Okay.
Number on the screen is 3.
Press the button with the same label you pressed in stage 4.
All right. So, final one. I have buttons that say words and a screen that says.
It's not Simon Says, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, do you see anything that says ready, first, no, blank, nothing, yes, what, left, right, middle, okay, wait, press you are...
I have an
any of those?
I have nothing, wait, okay, right, and middle.
Oh. Okay. An Okay, so for the
Yep.
It's ready, nothing, left, what?
Wait, okay. The screen says.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
Oh. Are you on page 9, Mana?
I'm on page 10.
Okay. I see. So step 1 says.
Yep.
I don't see it says.
Button.
Yeah, Simon Says don't blow up. But we have blown up. We ran out of
Damn
time.
it!
Oh, hold on. I don't understand how this one works. Okay, so can we talk about this one for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so on the subject of who's on first, this contraption is like something out of a sketch comedy routine, which might be funny if it wasn't connected to a bomb. I'll keep this brief, as words only complicate matters. So 1, read the display and use step 1 to determine which button label to read. So it says.
Okay.
Using the button label, use step 2 to determine which button to push. Repeat until the module is disarmed. So says it was the bottom right.
Okay, so I needed to tell you what that one said, and then you could tell me which second one to press?
Yeah, I think so. This is such a weird
So says, then you're supposed to, whatever the one was the bottom right is the one we needed.
Okay.
And then you tell us what that word is, and then we go to step 2 on that. We'll never see this ever again, because now we've talked about it.
It's okay. Shall we try it again?
Yeah.
Meow.
All right.
Yeah, we didn't do what Simon said.
All right, 3 minutes on the clock, and all right, I have the colored buttons, I have the number on the screen again, and I have wires.
Wires!
You got
Okay.
Or
wires.
first.
Okay, wires, I have 2 blue, 1 black, 1 red.
2 blue, black.
That's 4.
4, yep.
Oh wait, there's 2 blue and
Is
not
the
one
last
blue.
wire yellow?
No yellow.
How many blue wires?
2.
Is there more than 1 yellow wire?
No yellow.
Cut the second wire.
All right. Numbers, or I think that's Simon Says, the colored buttons.
I hated that one.
Yep.
Numbers?
Okay. 3 on the screen.
Oh, fuck, where did it go? Oh, shit, no! No! Press the button in the 3rd position.
That was a 3.
Okay.
Okay, number on the screen is 1.
Press the button labeled 4.
Okay, that was in the 4th position. Green is 3.
Press the button in the 3rd position.
Okay, that's a 4 again. All right, number is 4 on the screen.
Press the button in the same position that you pressed in stage 2.
That was apparently not where I pushed it in stage 2. All right, 1 on the screen.
Press the button in the 2nd position.
Okay. That was a 2. Screen is 4.
Press the button in the same position that you pressed in stage 1.
Okay, that was a 3. Screen is 2.
Press the button in the same label, with the same label that you pressed stage 1. Oh boy.
It begins!
What stage?
What's the number?
2.
Stage 1.
All right. Number
Press
on the
label.
screen is 4.
Press the button in the same position that you pressed in stage 2. Maverick, don't you dare.
I know, I've already forgotten. Not that. All right. Number on the screen is 3.
Press the button in the 3rd position.
Okay, that was a 1. Number on the screen is 2. Nope, we blew up.
Damn it!
Trying to remember what I pressed when, like,
That's so... I hate that.
the
I hate that.
ADHD is not good at this.
See, and that's where it's like, I'm a visual learner, so not being able to see what you're talking about is hard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, shall we give it one more try, and then we'll go
Yeah.
back to the actual game?
Yeah, one more try, and then we'll start
Okay.
the actual game we're all here for.
All right, 3 minutes are on the clock. Ready, set. All right, we have the symbols. We have the words with the screen again, and then we have the maze.
I've got the symbols.
Yes.
What do you got?
I have an upside down P, or I guess that's a lowercase b with a line on it. I have a paragraph mark. I have a smiley face with a tongue out. And then I have a weird 3 with antennas and a tail.
Okay, can you read to me again what you have? Okay, so you have a smiley face with the tongue out.
Yep.
Paragraph.
Yep.
A 3 with a antenna. What was the other one?
It's like a lowercase b with a little line through the stem.
Okay, great. So you need to press the smiley face.
Okay.
The lowercase b.
Okay.
The paragraph symbol.
Okay.
And then the 3 with the accoutrement.
Okay. Maze or words.
Is it the Simon Says one again?
It's not Simon Says, because I think that's the buttons. It's the one that we talked about where it's the
Okay, let's do
word
that
on the
one.
thing. Okay.
Yes.
It's UR or
So like the letters U R.
yes.
Upper left.
The
left.
word is middle.
Blank.
Nope, don't got it. Next.
Ready?
Nope. Next.
Okay.
Nope.
What?
I have what? All right.
Okay.
New one on the screen is there. THERE.
Bottom right.
The word is blank.
Okay, using the label from step 1, push the first button that appears in its corresponding list.
So
What was
wait.
Nope. Keep going.
Right.
Got that one.
Okay.
All right. Word on the screen is display.
Bottom right again. Ow. Maverick. Ow.
It's wait. WAIT.
No. Blank.
All right, got it. Maze. I have 1 dot, 1 from the bottom on the far left, and I have 1 that is 1 from the top, 3 from the left.
Okay.
I am in the 1 from the top, 3 from the left. The triangle is 1 down, 2 to the right. Oh, we're just gonna have to go for it. Yep.
Did we die?
Yep, we did.
We
Damn it.
blew up, damn it!
The question
Okay.
is...
I'm
Oh, yep, we
vaguely
ran out of
cheating.
time instead.
Yeah. I was looking at the thing. It's like, okay, so it helps to kind of see
Mhm.
what the hell you were seeing, just
Yeah.
even though I'm not looking at it at the same time.
Well, this has been our mortal enemy.
Yeah.
We'll do it next time.
Yay.
All right. So, anyone want to read the recap while I set up for our actual game?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
All right. So we ran into two of Garadeb's other lodgers, one of whom is a Shakespearean actor. Then we joined an unusually lucid Herlock Sholmes in visiting Natsume's cell to brief him about the case, freaking him out about the Reaper and learning that his home is also cursed somehow. Before we go into the trial, Susato will give Ryunosuke a thorough lesson on writing the steamiest lemons about themselves and
The
blinking them.
steamiest lemons.
Oh.
What it says. Um, gossip count is 8.
All right. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
yes.
I can.
All
That's
right.
right. I forgot that we had a very detailed discussion about fan fiction.
Yes.
Literally, that was half of the stream.
It truly
I'm not
was.
even joking. I went back and looked at it. And half of the stream was just about lemons.
Look, we cannot help it if Susato is passionate about her fan fiction. All right. 20th of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
Sorry.
Well, I never expected this. I would have thought we'd be back here again so soon.
The Lemon Squad did.
We're on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little, crass.
Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right.
Ryunosuke, who would have thought that so smut fake would have so much terminology? Damn it. Oh, it's my boy.
Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Oh dear, are you all right? You're extra twitchy. Your eyes are terribly bloodshot.
Have you ever had a monster drink before? The early bird catches the worm, and as they say here in Britain...
Yes, I've heard that expression.
But I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I gonna get a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
Do all literary people take things so, literally?
Yeah.
But
Thank you for
First
putting your
one of
faith
the-
in us today, Mr. Natsume.
Oh. Said Pringles noises. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. Two, terrified, 2, triple.
Really? Because I can feel the tremors in the floor.
I can't do this. I can't take it. Oh, locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I.
Oh shit.
Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea.
So
Finnegan?
that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence, then, Is it?
Sasaki learned his poses from Lady First, the Victorian twerking expert. I love that. I love that very much. Don't hide the truth from me. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Lord Von Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Susato?
Lord McBitchface, yeah.
I purchased
Resting
as many
bitchface.
different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Von Zeeks is on the front page of every one.
I knew it.
Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday.
Yeah, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he?
Vampires need to sleep too.
The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Von Zeeks' return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was.
That Willy Wonka ass mother.
I had to see the bottom of his shoe!
I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today's.
But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder?
It's called petty revenge.
That's
For
the question
losing.
the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers.
Mundane! It's the most significant saga of the century for some of us. Especially me.
Oh dear, no, I mean no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that's how the papers are describing it.
My book says to bring garlic and a wooden stake and prepare to face the Reaper. Absolutely. Well, lest we also forget the fact that I could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago.
Maverick, can we be making other choices right now? Alright. Wrestling with Leia is the choice today. Yes, I agree.
Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, it's you!
Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
Both times, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. And now people are shipping it. I mean, it can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper!
Please! I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers!
Oh, damn.
Who says anything about rubbing shoulders? Am I right?
So
Sorry.
fake writes itself again.
Too spicy, too early. I'm afraid that there's
We horny elements.
Sorry. I'm afraid that there's only one other explanation.
We're still not over that last stream.
Never recover. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that.
Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive!
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you.
You.
Bitch.
Yes, it's true that
I think that's me.
You're the student.
Yes, it's true that I'm just a student new to London with little in the way of experience or skills or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner. Think that's supposed to be fight in your corner until the bitter end.
Mhm.
I will fight your corner.
I will fight your corner.
Corner of the room. I will fight it.
And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Or said Pringles noises.
We didn't get to do our intros and disclaimers today, so just as a reminder, the screaming is my mom's 25-year-old bird. It is not a child that we are not a child in our basement, not a child that we are neglecting. She is a 25-year-old bird. She's fine. Just maybe a little horny.
Well, she heard what we were talking about. So.
Yeah.
She is the one writing the fan fiction.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Oh.
I yeet myself into the sun now. See you guys later. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume.
I'm crying.
Whatever happens, I assumed this was not going to be me. We will always be on your side.
Oh, benevolent, non-locum assistant, Miss Mikatoma Esquiress. Wow, that's a title. I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget your great kindness.
Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
Thanks, Elmo.
You are welcome. Elmo says you're welcome.
Jesus. That was terrifying.
Do you see the fire Elmo now?
I'm scared for my life.
All right then, Mr. Natsume. It's time. Let's go.
Yes. I'll do it for fire Elmo.
Do you remember the last dude that stepped into the courtroom with me also burned to death? So,
Oh shit, it's a foreshadow.
this is it. My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper. Hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because this time, I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight.
Hell yeah.
This trial is brought to you by the letter N in number 4.
All right, 20th of February, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom.
Here we go.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session.
That was so sassy. I loved it.
Justin, he's tired. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
I absolutely read that as the prostitution, and apparently I'm tired today.
The prostitution is ready and fully prepared, my lord.
The defense would like to go home. The defense is ready, my lord.
The defense would like his mom, please.
Please.
The defense
give me
would like an
some
adult.
Oreos and milk. The defense would like his Oreos and milk now, please.
The defense requests snap time.
I love this. Yes, infant, the Nipponese are truly a fascinating breed.
Sorry, what?
I am going to suck your blood after this. I mean, Lord Strongheart. Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. He is not a fellow vampire, if that's what you were thinking, but you never know. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, mere amateur.
Yeah, an amateur that kicked your ass. Do you have a point?
We slut celebrate. Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to tell me, the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance.
I'm gonna fight him.
Throw something at him. Your shoe, la chancla, anything.
Sorry.
Yes, Lord
forgive me.
Strongheart is actually a werewolf.
Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Is that the song?
You tell him, girl.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna pour one out for the boys. Oh, very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. It was satisfying seeing the body on the floor. Here to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end.
You know, maybe you might win if you didn't start drinking at 10 a.m. Like true
Yeah, who's
alcoholic
drinking at 10
behavior.
a.m.?
Like, clearly that is not a mimosa. So get better
Calories
taste.
Count 1.
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle.
He just
Fiddle.
threw
Ooh.
racist bullshit at,
Fiddle.
man. The judge is like, yep, that cool banter, yo.
He said, cool story,
Hilarious.
Fuck.
Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in the court as impartial members of the public?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, shit?
Is it the same bitches?
You never know what... no, it's the guy who got accused, I'm pretty sure. You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone.
Yes, Lamer, you get to take juror number 2.
Okay. I get to be the ladies this time, and that's gonna be... I'm gonna forget. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
I'm scared for her.
Karen.
Then. Oh my god, and he's back too, but he's wearing a different hat.
I don't think that's him.
I don't think
They
it's
look
him.
so similar though.
He does look similar.
Anyway. Oh, well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow.
Oh, her.
I'm afraid to say I think it's quite possible that the mustached foreigner did the deed.
Oh shit. Come on now, what are you waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
Oh, we threw it off. There's not. We're not
Oh.
even.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're just the old person
I'm
this
the.
time.
I'm the evens and you're the odds.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
So this is gonna go great.
Yep. We have a half-deaf juror. God damn it.
Very well. Let us proceed. Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zeeks.
The prostitution will definitely say that. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from the same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Yes, I am dramatic. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. knife crime. I tell you from bitter experience, those are worse bloody out there.
Just look at that sallow complexion and short stature. He's one of those. God damn it! He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
And now we know why she's the worst. Come on, let's get on with it. Come with me now. 1, 2, 3.
Sorry, didn't quite catch that.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollowed chalice here within this great chamber, but I have like 5 below me and my feet right now, so it's not a big deal. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
It's fine. He's gonna start chugging from the bottle.
Yeah.
Very well. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry. I took my headset off so that I wasn't, like, just sneezing right into the microphone. And hit the wrong button.
Bailiff, lead the inspector in, please.
Oh shit. It's fish and chips. Your name and occupation, please. No, I better put that away. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector. Thought to be.
Yes, having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife. The victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she has been comatose ever since.
What? So, they don't even know who she is for sure?
Shit.
Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger?
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Just attempted murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector. Yes, sir. If I could ask everyone to look at this street map that I drew in crayon. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road, wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. It had not long since stopped snowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Then blammo! Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please.
Alright, we have a case file.
Hell yeah! What of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back.
Ouch. That big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now.
Yeah.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even the scragged-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
Scraggy.
A common or garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence.
All right, and we have a jackknife.
Jackknife, jewel knife, all the knives.
Ah! Excuse me. Now then, what do we know, Maverick? What do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seemed like she's a poor student herself. Hard to imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord.
I see. Well, in that case, we're looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim.
Now, I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Yes! Hell yeah!
Please call on me, Mr. Judge, sir.
Mr. Judgy-san?
If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman?
Exactly.
Yet, you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection.
Oh, please.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had to have a bitchy mood after that sentence. Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. And it hit a woman, my bad. But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here.
What?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question.
Ponziks, have you talked to Scotland Yard?
Yeah, exactly. Inspector Gregson, the prostitution calls for your formal testimony. That will be the running gag of the episode. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest a Nipponi student. Yes, sir.
All right. First testimony of the night.
Scotland Yard is the police. Of course they arrest people with no good reason. Oh, wah, 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 wah. Anyway. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred, and there was an unusually light fog. Let me try that again. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Except for those witnesses that we mentioned earlier, but we're not going to count them. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought, he was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the bloke to arrest him.
What is this we?
Yeah, we.
It was
We,
Mr.
we,
Sholmes.
We.
Old books, you say?
Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here in the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. Oh shit.
Ah, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
I will take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector.
All right. We also have a crime scene photo.
Hell yeah. You Nipponis are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit feet.
That's the dude that just set a dude on fire last night. It's fine.
Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
Well, I
need another drink.
Forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything as you put it.
What are you doing, Miss Susato?
Do go on.
Being the brain cell.
Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all happened.
As I was walking along the accursed pavement, I couldn't make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed on the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran. I ran as fast as my legs would carry me and back to the accursed lodgings. A green overcoat.
Well, that's exactly what the woman in the print is wearing.
Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next?
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back.
I can do that too. I can slam my hand in the thing as well. There was nobody else there in the at that time. Just the two of them, the victim and the accused.
Prove it.
In other words, there is nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes.
It seems this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please.
Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. Alright.
Yep.
Alright, so before we start doing this, let's look at our evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I've got the armband. I have the map.
Very important.
It's just a regular map. I can't do anything with it.
Great.
I have the second handbook receipt that shows that Mr. Natsume bought books at 4:45 on February 17th. Those 3 books. I have the case file, so the incident report states the young woman was rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Her name is Olive Green, female, stout build, early 20s. She was found on the pavement of Briar Road on the east side. The reporting officer was Rolly Beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by the reporting officer and was successfully arrested the following day. Okay, so let's take a look at the knife. Oh no! Knife!
Ewy. The tip is missing.
Uh-oh.
Okay, can I look at it?
Blade. Blades of glory. Oh?
Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
You're right. Well spotted, Miss Susato.
I wonder what could have happened to it.
Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you?
Oh dear, I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
Alright. I'm not really saying anything else about it.
That little dent on the blade is normal, right?
Yeah, that's that would be how you would flick it out.
Oh, okay.
And we have the crime scene photograph.
Okay.
Alright, so I don't see any major restrictions. What?
Ryunosuke, after what you taught me last night, I never want to hear just the tip ever again. Susato-san.
Damn it. We always come back to it. But we can just skip and just press on stuff and
Okay. A light fog, you say?
Oh, well, light for London. You could see the opposite side of the street for once. Not much farther, though.
That's light, is it?
Yes. Around these parts, yes. Not something I'd expect a Japanese fellow like yourself to know, of course.
I've read that London is famous for its fog, but in my country, people usually imagine that gives the city a rather beautiful appearance.
Tisk, how quaint. Yes, yeah, well, it's not something us Londoners tend to romanticize because we have too many serial killers, as I expect you can appreciate.
I see.
Jack the Ripper, oh, good times. At this time of year, the fog causes a large number of accidents, especially when it's heavy. Sometimes you can't even see your own hand at the end of your arm.
Indeed, the other day I was very nearly trampled by horses before I could see the carriage they were pulling.
Ugh.
shit.
Zato-san and I should definitely remember to stop, look, and listen.
That's where it originated from.
However, on the day that concerns us, the fog was somewhat lighter than usual. It was fog light, a fact no doubt lamented by the accused.
Alright, yeah. Visibility was reasonably good. No one around. Once again, how do you know? How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
If there are witnesses, it is not just the accused and the victim. I do not.
Thank you.
How?
Call him out on his bullshit.
Yeah. Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, ma'am.
Then we must hear their testimony.
Prostitution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog might have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island on the east. But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated by the night by gas street lights.
Oh,
The prostitution believes there would be would have been an ample light by which to witness the crime. I love when Ryunosuke tries to slam his desk and it makes a pathetic slapping sound.
Was
Same.
that me?
Yeah, Judge.
Hey there?
Also, Britain is smaller than Japan. He has no place to call it.
I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness.
Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If I could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
Hell yeah. It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Alright, blah, 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 blah. Victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement.
Yeah.
From behind, you say?
No, that's right. As you can see from this print. Yes. Oh, that's not me.
That's the judge.
That's the judge.
Yes, quite so, Inspector. The handle of the weapon is clearly protruding from the victim's back. And you say this poor woman remains in critical condition, comatose, no less.
I'm afraid so, my lord. Yes, she's been treated in baths. I was hopeful that she'd come around before the trial started so I could take a statement, but it wasn't to be.
Yes, that's indeed a pity. It would have been the most illuminating to hear the victim's own account of the events.
Luck is on your client's side, it seems.
On the contrary, my client has been exceedingly unlucky.
That look of despair on his face is like, the fuck did you say, bitch? Your force of tone is seriously undermined by those disturbingly wide eyes, I'm afraid.
Aww.
Maybe you need a drink.
The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Mr. Natsume's belongings?
I think you'll find it's all in there in the photographic print of the crime scene.
Yes, the 3 books on the floor.
What if it was her books?
Oh, that's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling on the snow, of course. The accused would have easily been carried. Whoa, let me try that again. He could have easily carried that, which means his other hand would have been free to wield a knife, for example. That's a stretch, I'm sorry. This is a stretch.
He's very clever, isn't he?
What do you mean?
He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with his books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there.
I still didn't know it was there, so...
Good times. But she has the brain cell, so.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back?
That must be what happened, my lord, yes.
He did the worst covering up of a crime scene ever.
Mm-hmm.
Number of
He
old
should be on
books.
Dumb Criminals.
Yeah, he was on his way home from a bookshop. The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yes, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature. I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention. The bloke's room was stacked, floor to ceiling, with those musty old books.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Yeah, well, if I must, I'll have to ask you to look at the street map again, I'm afraid. The closest second-hand bookshop to the accused's lodgings is this place here, Bourbon Books. A little place in the corner of Briar Road and Mircham Street. As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road and the opposite end.
But dude, you couldn't walk down an entire street without stabbing a lady? Like, come on, man.
Absolutely. Which means it doesn't take a genius to work out the route he would have taken home. Something like this.
Alright. We have a map.
I like your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think that what the inspector just told us could turn out to be of vital importance.
Yeah, I agree. The most important point that the inspector just made being, is it the bookshop's location, the bookshop's name, or the bookshop's stock? Wanna say...
Location?
No, it's gotta be the name, because he bought from your books. According to his book receipt. So... Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
Go on.
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
Maybe.
Well, you know, I mean, yes. It could be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector.
Yes, sir, my lord, whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic?
Yes. He was on his way home from Bourbon Books, a second-hand bookshop apparently patronizes.
Objection.
If I could just stop you there, Inspector Gregson.
Oh, what is it, sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
My books or your books?
Your
My books.
books? YORE, I presume?
Yes, my lord. So, Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What? You firmly grasping them fish and chips.
Firmly grasp it.
Firmly grasp
Inspector. Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection.
Yes, for what difference it makes. Whatever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would have almost certainly have passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Oh, could that be true?
My, it rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility.
Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said?
Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Feel like we're pinning our hopes on a possibility here.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that. Turns out that Your Books is just here in the next corner of Mearsham Street, going east, sorry. Whoa, I can't read. Can't read it today.
And there you have it. As you can clearly see now... Oh.
Oh, shit, indeed. I just had to grab another bottle and another chalice. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown. The way he regales us with such witticism. To your future career in the circus.
Fuck off.
Wow, what a bitch.
You put that glass down now, or I'll put it down for you.
You
Go,
go,
Susato.
girl.
Go.
You
Dick him.
go, girl. I didn't think I needed to spell it out, but here we are. Here we go. If the accused was coming from home from Your Books instead of Bourbon Books, he still passes that shit. There's no doubt he would still have passed the place where the victim was stabbed. As he went the other long way because it's scenic.
Yes, thank you, Inspector.
I love how we just, like, our client has literally told us he walked by the lady that got stabbed. And we're
Right.
like, maybe he went the other way.
That's what I would have thought. Allow me to reiterate to my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. That hurt a little bit. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Just pretend my chalice is your head.
As I suspected, you can't fool me, and I don't suggest you try.
Oh shit. What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now.
I beg your pardon, terribly sorry, but would you mind repeating that?
Thank you, juror number 6.
He's my favorite.
Mr. Naruhodo. We mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
She's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
Okay. They claim Soseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but shall we raise an objection or just leave it?
Hell yeah!
Objection. Objection.
Objection.
The assertion just made by the prostitution is fundamentally flawed.
El gasp.
Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens. He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection.
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that route is what is commonly referred to as the long way round. On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take a longer route home?
Well,
Scenic route.
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words,
Guys,
the
go away.
accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection.
but... Aha! Yes, I've got it! Obviously, we must ask the man himself. Ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home. We already know what route he took home. He saw the accused get stabbed.
Yeah. I've already informed the court of the accuser's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. Wow. That's right. As I said, the bloke seems to have spent his time outside wandering aimlessly from A to B. That day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or what route he took home.
I don't believe this.
Well, as your friend Naruto says, believe it. I thank you, my learned friend. And suggest that we do not waste any more time of the court's time by wandering aimlessly around this subject. Pray, what say you insightful jurors? He just scraped himself off that table.
But even if that is the case, the evidence still... Oh, this doesn't look good for us.
Fuck.
This looks very bad for us.
I agree with Lord Von Zeeks. Undoubtedly, and in every way.
Yeah, well, you don't like me, so that's not a surprise to me. What?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. Does this mean...
We members of the jury are completely convinced now. Shit.
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury
Shut up, chipmunk man. Yes.
to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty! Oh shit, this is voiced.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Well, that
Oh,
suddenly went very badly for us.
no.
Have we ever lost in one cross-examination before?
What the fuck?
It would appear the jury's leaning is unanimous.
Would you like some Kool-Aid with your Oreos, my learned friend? To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve the Queen and our country admirably.
Mr. Naruhodo.
It's fine. I'm just going to be in the fetal position on the floor if anyone needs me.
Time for a summation examination.
Oh, not yet. This isn't over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury.
Squeak.
I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of Query, not yet willing to give up and die.
Kazuma wouldn't give up, so...
So, I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial? Rights of the defense written in an antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Yes, but I just used it yesterday to remind everyone that it was there, and no one's taken it out yet. So, call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses. And let me just say, it is so choosing.
Maverick. No. Maverick. Hey. Hold on. Gotta mom for a second. Do not grab my pillow with your mouth. Very well, counsel. Yeah, you can yell at your sister. That's fine. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination.
Woo! It rhymes.
Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncouth refusal to throw in this alley. He has a grudge.
Yep.
Very well then.
To be fair, we did accuse him a few times of stabbing a man, so...
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Any revenge.
you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Alright, let's take on the jury.
Hmm.
Judicial findings.
Oh, fuck.
The jury's contentions.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
Poor timing to take a drink. If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim?
Man wouldn't have gone around in the houses on his way back from the bookshop, not in the winter.
Have you not seen this man?
So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful.
I already don't care. Can we just wrap up now? I've got work to be doing.
Your books, yes. Nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth a visit.
Oh, okay. That's what he's prioritizing.
Okay, so what I'm getting is that half the jury isn't even listening.
Yeah.
Fine, I guess. Send a man to death.
With only minor exceptions, the reasons for finding the defendant guilty are all too clear.
When the stabbing occurred, the only two people at the scene were the victim and the accused. And the accused himself. As admitted to seeing the victim in her green overcoat sink to the ground before his eyes.
Furthermore, we have heard from the inspector that the defendant then fled the scene. I must say, I would have ample grounds to convict this man already. Oh dear. Even the judge appears convinced of Mr. Natsume's guilt now.
Why did he have to run away like that? And how are we supposed to believe in some phantom attacker that nobody could see? This is impossible. How can I possibly make a case for the defense?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is no time for grumbling. If we want to force the trial to continue...
Yeah, I know. I have to turn the tide. I must make the jurors change their minds. Well, 4 of them at least.
Exactly. We have no choice but to forge forward. You have the floor, counsel. Begin your summation examination.
Yes, my lord. Okay, I just need to keep this trial going somehow. Whatever it takes. Come on, Yunosuke, you can do it.
There we go.
Jury examination. Just gonna take out my sword and threaten 4 people.
For pity's sake, that little Nipponese oddity already admitted it himself, didn't he?
Excuse me, but which Nipponese oddity are you talking about, him or me? Aren't you...
Oh, yes, that's right. I was the witness stand myself just 2 days ago.
Yeah, I had a feeling I knew your face. Or the side of it, anyway. If I remember correctly, you're a banker, aren't you?
That's right. After the gold rush down under, I came back to London to work. And it was all going swimmingly until you started fossicking around. Bruce Fairplay was a man of repute.
Sorry?
Don't think I've forgotten how you treated me the other day. You had, and that young hatter pegged us as criminals.
Oh, well, you know. Water under the bridge.
Not to me, bitch. Now there's all sorts of rumors buzzing around, and police have been battering me non-stop.
If I could turn back the clock...
Well, anyway, I don't know about the hatter, but at least I'm in the clear now. And free to make up my own mind about who's guilty and who isn't.
Thank goodness. Alright, maybe I might struggle to change this man's mind, given our, awkward history.
Baby, show him your lemons.
Oh dear, I wonder what's become of Mr. First now.
He probably doesn't like me, either.
If he said that a woman in green collapsed before his eyes, why it can only have been the victim?
You're right that at the time of the incident, the defendant admits to having seen someone wearing a green overcoat walking ahead of him.
Well, quite. That's precisely my point. Clearly, that someone wearing green was the victim. And clearly, that funny little Nipponese man with the disturbing mustache is the culprit.
But,
Pringles inspired.
let us not forget, madam, the defendant vehemently denies attacking the woman.
Why, of course he does. If he admits to stabbing her, his life is over. The man is obviously a liver-faced coward. Honestly, claiming the woman simply collapsed before his eyes.
But if that's a lie, as you're suggesting, do you not think he would have concocted something more, credible?
Oh, I really couldn't say. After all, you are foreign. Who's to say that goes through what goes through your funny little minds?
Oh shit.
I could tell you what's going through my funny little mind right now, but you wouldn't like it.
You're a bitch. A racist bitch.
I do declare the man has already made the admission. He himself has stated that there was nobody else around. Surely the conclusion is obvious. Yeah, she's really just adding numbers to the racism count.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just this
no-
lady right here.
No one else could possibly have committed this awful crime. If no one else could have done it, the accused must be the man. Really, it couldn't be more simple. Your argument is compelling in its simplicity, I must admit. Oh my, you're too kind, my lord.
That went well. For her.
For her.
Just gonna throw some shade
That's
right
Karen
here.
Over here.
The man wouldn't have gone around in the houses, yes, and on his way back from the bookshop, not in winter.
But you can't deny that there are other routes Mr. Natsume could have taken back from your books.
Oh yes, like you drew on the map. You mean? Well, what was it? Calabash Road or something?
Precisely.
But it seems to me that what counts is whether the little Japanese fella actually went that way or not.
Well, yes, that's true.
And at the moment, there's no proof that shows he did, is there?
Well, yes, that's true as well.
And as I understand it, the accused himself doesn't remember which way he went, does he?
Do you have to keep piling on? Well, yes, that's annoyingly true.
Winter nights are dark and cold, so the way I see it, you'd want to get home as quickly as possible.
Well, yes. Oh, why is all this true?
So really, the only thing that makes sense is that he went home along Briar Road.
I'm supposed to be convincing you here.
I've given it a lot of thought, you know. I didn't just make up my mind on a whim that he did it. Wow, I can read. I mean, if there was some logical reason why he might have gone to Calabash Road way, well, it'd be different. I'd be happy to reconsider my position in that case. Honest, I would.
Reason why Soseki-san might have taken the longer way home.
Yes, a good reason. I don't imagine you'll be able to sway this young man's opinion without one. So the poor woman was attacked from behind, was she? How dreadful. Whatever is the matter, young man?
You're the wife of Mr. Garadeb, aren't you? The landlord who rents Mr. Natsume his room?
Oh my god, I don't know why I didn't recognize her. It took me till just now. I was like,
I
"Who
knew
the
it right away.
The master's wife? Where did you get your ideas, sir? I'm the maid. The maid, you understand?
He's keeping up
Sure.
that charade? This is gonna be awkward. Why didn't you mention this yesterday? That you'd been selected for the jury in this trial, I mean?
Well, I was told not to mention it to anyone until the day of the trial, you see. It was in the letter I received. The instructions were very clear, so I'm afraid I had no choice.
I see. Anyway, Mr. Natsume, the defendant takes lodging in your master's house, doesn't he?
Yes, that's right. Although he's only been in a little over a week now.
And in that time, surely you must have taken stock of his character. Does Mr. Natsume look like the kind of man who would commit a crime such as this?
Oh my goodness me. Yes, he's just the sort.
Did we forget what it was like talking to her yesterday?
Yeah. she was
What?
cray-cray.
Spending all his time in the dark and dingy room, sporting that unscrumptious mustache? Yeah. The man never speaks, and don't get me started on those shifty eyes. All the neighbors are talking about him. Wouldn't this be a huge conflict of interest?
Yeah, giant.
I've heard them, you know. People think he must be building a bomb in there or something.
But
Oh dear. Poor Mr. Natsume. How could people say such things about him? He's just a harmless bookworm, nothing more.
Well, you just called him a worm, so... Anyway, I'd better be careful about inviting this maid to speak. You said enough damning things already.
I really don't care. Can we just wrap this up now? I got work to be doing.
A man's life is on the line here, sir. This will take as long as it takes.
Oh shit, don't get clever with me now, son. My life is on the line too, and is my family's.
Oh.
The likes of you wouldn't understand, but a laborer like me can't afford to take time off. If I don't work, I don't eat. Neither does my wife or kids.
Oh, I see. That must be very hard.
Can't relate. Hashtag can't relate. I go to the union every morning to find out what needs is doing, and if you're late and the work's taken, it's tough. If this is the time of year when there's water and gas supply pipes busting left and right and center. They're after cheap labor to get to the roads dug up to fix it, and it's a hard slog from dawn till dusk it is.
So, you were out digging up the roads on the day of the incident as well, were you?
That's right. In fact, if I remember rightly, it was just around the corner from where it all happened. By that old bookshop it was.
What? Another coincidence.
That's right. Meersham Street it was.
Meersham Street.
On the map, Mr. Naruhodo, there are only 3 named streets.
Juror number 5, I need you to add that information to your formal statement, please.
Oh, what's the point of that? Can't we just get to this business over with now?
Please, sir, it's important.
Tishk, fine, I'll do it then.
Alright, well, I think I can pit you two together against each other.
On the day it happened, I was digging in Meersham Street from dusk to dawn.
Let's try pitting these two together. Those two statements are clearly at odds with one another. Maybe not.
At odds,
Maybe.
counsel, explain yourself.
Oh, please don't point. It wasn't me, I swear.
What? I was just getting work done and dusted.
Well, juror number 3?
Oh, me, sir? Well, what do you mean?
Juror number 5's words just now are extremely significant. Let's take a moment to consider the implication of what's been said on our map of the local area. On the day in question, Mr. Natsume visited this bookshop to purchase a number of secondhand books. And on the same day, We now know that there were works being carried out on Meersham Street, making it impassable, which means that if the defendant's route home could not have taken him along Meersham Street and down Briar Road.
Oh, yes, of course. What do you think, sir?
Oh, well, yes, you can't argue with that, really, can you? Well, we must have a good 2 yards or more from the pavement up. Every gentleman and gentlewoman that came along had to turn back and go the other way.
So, the only conclusion is this. The defendant must have taken the longer route back to his lodgings.
Oh, yes, I suppose he must have.
I suppose that must be right, eh?
Juror number 3, you said the following. The man wouldn't have got around the houses on his way back from the bookshop. We see now that he had no choice.
Oh, yes.
Please reconsider.
I take back my flame of glory. My lord, Mr. Judge, if I may.
Yes.
Yeet.
I shall now yeet my flame. I don't think it all I don't think in all good conscience that I can say this man's guilty now. Yes, I'd like to see this trial continue so we can get to the bottom of what really happened. Yeet revoked.
Yay! We got 1.
We did it.
What about you, sir?
Oh, me? No, well, all right then. If there's a hole in the prostitution's argument, it should be filled in, that's what I say.
Yay! 2.
Ooh,
Yay!
I agree with the little man over there.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. That was wonderful.
Well, we've managed to change a couple of minds at least. It strengthened our position somewhat.
Yes, and it will prompt the other members of the jury to reconsider their stance as well. They'll be asking themselves if their current leanings are really right or not.
Will it?
Hell yeah.
You have seen some of the jury, right?
Yeah.
If only. If we could identify one more clue or discrepancy that would make them stop doubting Mr. Natsume. We might be able to tip the balance completely.
Yes, that's exactly what we've got to do. Von Zieks is looking to bring this trial to an early conclusion. That's what we have to prevent by whatever means we have at our disposal.
That's right, bitch.
Thank you, counsel. On with the summation examination, please.
Yes, my lord.
And we learned about filling holes for the prostitution last night, right, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh my god. Okay, so you guys are okay. So let's chat with you,
This
sir.
guy.
Your books, yes, nice shop, that. But bourbon books? No, not worth the visit.
Oh no.
Sorry? Fold it, you said? Fold what?
No. What I said was hold it. What I wanted to ask was, do you visit your books often?
This just makes me think of, I can't remember what the age is, but there's actually an age, in America that if you're, like once you get past a certain age, you can just say, I'm too old to be on a jury. And that's what I feel like this man should have done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that's how my granddad got out of jury duty the last time, and how he'll never get called for it again is because my dad pretended to be him and was like, "I'm too old," and they were like, "Yes, you are. Goodbye." um,
Good time.
Oh.
I like the old books they have in there. Yes, I enjoy reading them over a nice cup of old tea. That's my daily routine. See, same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
And at what time did you visit your books on the day in question?
How? Okay, sorry, I forgot. we don't care about conflicts of interest here, or
Yeah,
you know.
nope.
How potentially involved any of these people could be. Well, I was picking out books in there all afternoon, and it would have been just before 5 that I left. That's my daily routine, you see. Same thing every day, including the day you're talking about.
Just before 5, you say. Exactly when the victim was attacked. It was clearly the old man. Are you sure about the time?
Hell yeah.
Oh yes, no mistake there. I remember it well. I'm not about to forget that day in a hurry, not after the dreadful time I had.
What do you mean?
Well, I was walking down Calabash Road when I slipped on ice and donked my head. It's always worse after the snows stopped falling. That's when it's most slippery. Knocked myself clean out, I did. I really thought my number was up.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. This happened on Calabash Road?
That's right. I live in Cornpipe, you see.
That means absolutely nothing to me, but okay.
Heading down Calabash Road is the quickest way for me to get back to your books.
Juror number 6, I must insist that you add that information to your formal statement. It may very well be extremely significant.
Sorry, extremely sick? No, I'm quite alright now.
Sir, please.
This is not our day.
You've changed 2 of the jurors' minds, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, just 2 more to go.
Deliver the finishing blow now. It's time to turn the tables here.
Wish I knew how to
turn tables.
Wish I knew how to do a Susato takedown. I suppose words will have to suffice for now.
It's definitely gonna be the lady and the old man, because she saw someone wearing green and he was wearing green, so.
And actually, yeah, I think
What if the person that he saw
that's what I'm
flip
thinking.
down is actually the old man and not, this lady?
That's what I'm thinking. Those 2 statements clearly show a flaw in the juror's reasoning. Can we stop doing these, like, generic ones where I sit there and go, oh no, am I wrong?
Mm-hmm.
A flaw? What are you talking about, counsel?
Well, juror number 2? Juror number 6?
My, whatever you mean, sir.
Juror number 6 has no idea what's going on. It's fine.
I think perhaps the old man didn't hear you.
Unbelievable. Not like I was loud or anything. There is at least one fact of which we can be sure here. The bookshop receipt I found in the defendant's room clearly indicates that on the day of the attack, he had been to your books and purchased a number of secondhand titles. He then returned home on foot.
But the man says he has no recollection Wow. No recollection of his return journey.
That's correct. But what he does remember is seeing someone appear in front of him on the way. Someone in a green overcoat who suddenly collapsed on the pavement before his eyes.
Yes, we're well aware of all of this. The poor young woman who was stabbed, obviously.
Objection.
Can we really be sure of that, madam?
My, whatever do you mean?
I'm sure you heard juror number 6's account of what happened to him that day. That same afternoon, there was somebody else apart from the victim who was wearing a green overcoat and who fell over on the icy streets in the neighborhood.
Oh my.
My goodness, you mean?
That's right. I'm referring, of course, to hard of hearing juror number 6, who has no idea what's going on here.
Are you really suggesting that the person in the green overcoat whom the defendant saw collapse in front of his eyes was the jolly old gentleman on the end of the bench here with me today?
That is entirely possible, yes. After all, the old man has a somewhat similar build to the victim.
Well, look at that.
My goodness me. Sorry, I need to pee.
And crucially, ignoring juror number 6 once again, we know precisely where the old man in the green overcoat fell.
On Calabash Road.
Therefore, if the collapsing in front of him was in fact juror number 6, it means the defendant must have taken the long route back to his lodgings. And if that's true, then clearly the crime scene on Briar Road where the woman was stabbed was not on his way home.
You idiot old man. If you hadn't been so daft as to roaming about there, we would have boxed this off hours ago.
And really, what were you thinking wearing such a befuddling coat? What did you say to me?
Oh shit.
Is it a crime for the elderly to walk the streets these days? Is it a crime to slip over the ice? Is it a crime to keep up with the latest styles and wear a beautiful green overcoat? Is it? My
Tell Mike
lord.
is funky? Question mark?
My lord, I do hope it won't cause any inconvenience, but you'd like to change your leaning, I presume. I do declare that I would. I should like to call for a verdict of not guilty.
Thank you. I will let you slide on one count of racism.
And
You've
I
already
would
used
too.
that one.
Yeah.
What? You were paying attention?
Is it a crime to change your mind, is it? Well,
Bless this guy.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
we did it.
We did it! Fuck juror number 1.
well, that summation examination has concluded with a rather large shift in opinion. The eyes 2, the nose 4, So the noes have it, not guilty, they say. Which means we no longer have a consensus among the members of the jury.
Technically, as soon as one of them disagreed, we didn't, but
Mhm.
The trial will continue.
Objection.
Mhm.
sir, how many glasses do you have?
I told you I keep them underneath my podium. About 20. Could it seem churlish of me to drink from my hallowed chalice moments after raising an objection, only to crush it in disgust? Pray forgive my discourtesy.
Lord Von Zeeks?
Sorry if you wanted a sip of that. It will not be happening today. It seems I must retract my earlier remark.
What do you mean?
I mistakenly credited these jurors with intelligence by describing them as insightful. Yet, we have just witnessed them falling for a cheap trick performed by an Eastern entertainer.
Uh,
Eh? Oh no, she's gonna be racist.
Whatever do you mean?
I'm scared.
I haven't tricked anyone. Everything I've said is the truth.
Indeed. Stalwart juror number 5 was undoubtedly repairing the road, as he claims. I believe you said it was a good 2 yards off the pavement, which you had excavated, sir. That's right. Took me the whole day, and they paid me a measly tuppence for it. Now, my learned Nipponese friend, tell me, do you have any notion of the distance 2 yards represents?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have a clue, no.
Metric system says what?
2 yards is a little less than 2 meters.
Less than 2 meters? That's not much at all.
In other words, distance readily vaulted by anyone of moderate vigor. Would you not agree, my stalwart friend? Me? Well, I can't say you're not wrong, no.
What?
And did you perchance erect a sign to prevent pedestrians from passing the site of your works? I wouldn't dream of it. What a waste of time. No coaches would have had a hope of passing anyway. We would just turn any gentlefolk back when they came. Kids just romp right over us all the time. The accused is no gentleman, as far as I can see. I have little doubt, however, that he could spring over a 2-yard trench in his meanderings around town.
Prove it.
Ah,
Is that true? Is it?
The incontrovertible truth is that the books just purchased by the accused were found at the scene. There can be no doubt that on his way back to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume walked down Briar Road.
Crushed. In a single sentence.
And, old man?
Cold man, you can talk.
You say that around 5 o'clock in the day in question you slipped and fell in Calabash Road. Pray, was there any suspicious looking Nipponese behind you at the time?
Oh my god. Oh, I can't say that as I remember.
You don't remember? Our own client doesn't remember where he went.
True. How about a wager, my learned friend? You say that it was this old man that the accused saw. But I would lay 1,000 to 1 against you being able to prove it. I love the look of despair on your face.
Odar. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself.
My lord.
You had such a trenchant argument up your sleeve. Why in the world did you not proffer it during the summation examination?
It's a game of chess, my lord. I wanted to give this young foreign student the sightseeing experience he would no doubt came for. I wanted him to see for himself how the opinion of the jury is so readily swayed. But my hospitality has its limits, and they have been reached, I feel.
Oh, stripper time.
Time to strip. The prostitution is now stripping in front of you. So, my learned friend, today's sightseeing tour of London is now over.
What are you talking about?
My lord. The prostitution requests permission to call its next witness to the stand.
I think we're gonna end here for tonight. I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah.
So we'll find out who the witness is next stream.
Oh shit.
Can't be good
I'm
for
betting
us.
it's the guy who with the wheelchair. Or wait, was he in a rocking chair? What was he on? I forgot.
I think it was a rocking chair.
Yeah, it was a rocking chair. He was in profile.
Or we'll get to find out who the witness was. Yeah, the one who actually supposedly saw it. I don't know. We'll find out. So, next stream is Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. That ocean. That side of the country. Anyone have any announcements?
No.
No. Keep your gloves on.
Cool. You do you. As a reminder, Twitter and YouTube links are below. You can always check out our Twitter to find out if we're going to be starting late or what we're playing, and YouTube will show you all of our past games that we have played. So if you've missed anything, feel free to catch up. Wash your hands, wear your masks, get vaccinated, make good choices, and we will be back on Thursday. Have a good night. All good night.
Bye-bye.